And we are live. Happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome back to A Certain Point of View on another Sunday show. The crew is here. We are here, and we got a whole load of Schmoedown to talk about tonight. Lots of matches. We have a big event upcoming here in about a month that we're going to be discussing a little bit. We're also going to be talking about some tournament stuff, obviously talking to our guest, and diving into that great, controversial, fun, epic match that happened on Friday. I'm sure we'll get into some conversation as well, which will be very, very exciting. Before we all do that, how's everybody doing today? Jill, Brian, Molly, how are we doing?
Doing good. I'm tired after a long night. Last night we went out with some friends for a birthday and got to hang out with some other Star Wars players, which was always fun. Got to finally meet Evan.
We saw. That was such a cute. I love the photo story. It was like, look at us all happy, and now we're all beating each other up because they all suck. Like it's great. It was wonderful.
That was all Alex's idea, but
of course it was. Love it.
Zach and Evan spent nearly the entire night that they were with us quizzing each other.
Oh my god, nerds
trying to stump each other.
Come on.
Speaking of, take a break from it, man.
Take a break.
Okay, I'll blame the fact that we rode in Zach's car and he had like a trivia book in his car and we found it and we were like, oh, well, we have to go through this.
Is he studying while he's driving?
No, he was in his backseat.
What is with you Star Wars competitors? Y'all are nuts.
Oh my god.
We got to.
You're kind of crazy.
God.
And you wonder why you say no more perfect matches. Well, that's why, because you never stop studying.
Yeah, Nussbaum, it's true. All of it. It's true.
Oh my god.
To be friends and also enemies.
It's called a frenemy.
I had to throw it in there. Don't shake your head at me. I had to throw it in there.
I was like, really?
It made sense.
Oh, jeez.
Mr. Brian Bailey, we will be getting into this, so hold tight on that one. Jill, what about you? How was your weekend?
Good. I did adulting. We went shopping for living room furniture for our new place. We went specifically to look for a couch because we were like, we're not going to find anything else. We'll worry about it later. And then we ended up finding like an entertainment center and a dining room table and literally everything. So my wallet is going to hate me in about a week, but all's good. It's worth it. We got new furniture. Yay.
And
I got
Mr.
Parker's
Avalos.
couch. Parker's couch, as people have been calling it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's already dubbed.
Parker has his couch. Parker's couch has been claimed. We just have to purchase it.
Mr. Avellino, what about you?
I'm good. I had a rather relaxing / fun weekend. Just went and saw a movie with Senor right here.
It was a movie.
It was a movie.
Wow, did you see Fast and Furious?
It was a movie.
Okay, Sean Sullivan.
Yeah,
it's a movie.
This is like prime example. Like that is a movie.
That's a movie.
Yeah, so that was interesting. And then Jesse Swift lured me into this damn video game that now I haven't stopped playing all weekend.
What is it?
Okay.
Tell the class.
3.
Oh, he got Sean into that game too.
I know, but Sean keeps not being available.
He's really not. We've been really busy, actually. So
yeah, because you guys are too busy adulting. So
we're adulting. How dare we?
Yeah. So my whole weekend is basically consisted of that movie. We went to the barbecue place before. Well, not Jake, but yeah. Pretty fun weekend. Not gonna lie. It was, and I went into a store without a mask. Like,
it's weird, isn't it?
I brought it with me in my pocket.
Oh, I always do.
And I felt really uncomfortable, so I put it on halfway through.
It's weird. Like I feel like I don't like. I'm like I'm vaccinated, but also like.
So am I. It's just like I felt so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
There's a strange amount of guilt that happens, and then it's like, well, you don't want to like look like you're an anti-vaxxer, so like, how long do I need to wear this.
That's me. That's literally me. I'm like, I swear I'm vaccinated, but I don't have. That's why I don't have to wear the mask. But I don't want you to think I'm not because I'm not wearing the mask.
I
I
immediately
still
walked
say
in.
that we all get tattoos that say I know for real though I got vaccinated.
I'm bad. There's Disney buttons. You know how at the Disney parks you can get like birthday buttons? Someone has made I'm vaccinated buttons with like Mickey on it with a face mask, and I kind of just want to wear that around.
They made those for well, they've already made some for Celebration. I've seen those floating
I'm
around.
vaccinated.
I was
I'm
totally
okay,
fine with the movie
promise.
theater though. When we went in the movie theater, it's the
That's a
grocery
little, that's a
store.
little different. Yeah, the grocery store I still wear a face mask. No way. No.
Wait, like what kind of football helmet? Face mask?
Like
Just get rid of him.
I was like,
I was
was
just
like,
making
do
a
you-
joke.
I was like, do you not know what what we're talking about? I was so concerned for a second. It's like,
I was
Jake,
just making a joke.
we've only been wearing
Um,
them for like a year and a
No,
half.
I know.
What are you
I know.
talking about?
I don't think I've ever heard it being called a face mask. It's just a mask. So I had to make the funny.
I guess.
Just had to do it.
Yes, Brian, the movie theater did have their snack bar open.
Yeah. Everything. I mean, everything was open. Everything.
Yeah, it was
Nothing was
Pretty much
constricted.
as normal as possible.
Yeah.
No one
it was really nice.
was really, not that many people there either. So
Before we bring in Mr. Moses, who is waiting backstage very patiently, we're going to go ahead and get to the super chat we do have from Tim Sim real quick, which is pertaining to something that we'll be talking about very soon. Thank you, Tim, so much for the super chat. Those who are complaining about Friday's match before BF?
Battlefield.
Battlefield.
Sometimes stuff happens, though. I'm surprised it hasn't happened until now with digital matches.
Oh, with the audio stuff?
Yeah, that's true. And speaking of it, I mean, we're going to be talking to him about that, obviously. It was something new. We're going to be revealing our feelings on it because we might be in the minority. I don't know. I didn't really look into the comment section on it, but we'll talk about it. With that said, let's go and bring him in. He is now heading into Collision as the newest member of representatives for the Collision lineup. He will be representing the usual suspects in the IG matchup up against one Saul. That is Mr. Amaru Moses.
What up, y'all?
Hello.
What's up?
What up,
Welcome
YouTube?
back.
How y'all doing? Glad to be here. Always happy to hang out with you all.
Yeah.
Thank you. I hope everything's doing well. We haven't talked to you in a bit, but last time we talked was after your first match, and now we're talking to you after your second match. I imagine in your mind, pretty big difference on how you played, because I know you were pretty hard on yourself the first match.
Oh yeah.
How does it feel to get like that comfortable match out of the way, and now you're going to be competing at the big Collision event?
And I will be seeing one of you all in person, which I'm very excited.
You will be.
But I'm extremely happy how it went. I'm glad I was able to call my shot and hit it 20 points or more and a win. So I was very happy about that. The thing that I'm holding on to is that I was on another show and they confirmed it for me that I am now a record holder in a couple of spots where most points for a IG 3-rounder and most points off of opponent's choice in any division. So that also means I got opponent's choice. It can still do better. So I'm just continuously going to hype myself up on that and try to just continue to just rack up wins as best as I possibly can.
This is the best stat, though. That's the best stat.
Yes, it is. For sure.
Bravo, sir. Bravo.
All the exchange people are going to start showing up. Ty is going to be here. Mr. The King is popping in. We already got Evan. Evan's going to...
Yeah.
Y'all, people are going to start hating us. Come on.
Directed towards Jake.
See,
That's
here
fine.
they come.
There we
They're
go.
all coming out of the woodwork. There they go. They're all showing
That's
up.
fine. That's fine. That's all good. Molly, I'm gonna shoot it to you first. You got a question for one Amaru Moses?
Yeah. I guess since we were talking about being back in studio, do you think you're going to be more nervous playing a game in studio, or is it gonna feel pretty much the same?
It's gonna feel the same. The nerves are gonna come like driving to the studio, being around people in the studio, like excited nerves. because the only person in this community, in the family community, that I've ever met in person is Jacoby and our friend Jake. But being able to meet all these people, especially some of who I've been watching for like 4 or 5 years, those nerves are coming in. When it gets to the game, though, I've mentioned it here before. I've said it a couple times this weekend, but I'm going to repeat myself. March 20th, 2016, Hollywood Game Night. I'm not new to this. I have been in the lights. I have answered pop culture trivia questions under the lights in front of people. This is not new. So once that game hits, it's the same. Everything else is just the questions. It's my board, and it's having as good a time as possible while getting as many correct answers as possible.
That's the perfect answer. Yes.
Bravo.
Not like we'll actually see the nerves because everything's gonna be cut together anyway.
Some of us will if they appear.
Oh, that's true. And if you guys
will.
are wondering who he was talking about seeing in person, it's this one. So they'll be able to hang out, chit chat, and Jill will come back to us and say, "Yeah, this dude was real nervous." He was real nervous.
He'll be fine. He'll be totally fine. I have all the faith in him. He will be.
You're on.
I think if anything, Amaru, I think you're gonna thrive off the lights. To be honest, yes. I think you're totally just gonna have the time of your freaking life. I think he's gonna have a blast with it.
Like the lights, the crowd, Saul's anger, it's just going to give me like continuously. And I'm gonna have the beard is glorious. It's a glorious beard. And I think Sean Sullivan's beard may be able to overpower the raw power of Saul's beard. I'm just gonna throw that out there. I will
beard fight.
Beard fight.
We haven't seen it in a while, but I can't wait to see Sully's beard again to see where it's gone.
It's beard.
It's beard.
It's a beard.
Mr. Brian, you want to go next?
Sure. How excited are you to actually get to meet your manager in person and actually like work with them in person instead of just like bringing them in? Or let's put them both on camera. Like you actually get to kind of like play the sport like it's meant to be in person with your manager. Excited about that? Like pumped?
I haven't actually thought about that aspect like too much yet, but thinking about it, I am really excited. I guess I'm a little nervous that like I'm gonna ask too many questions because I ask a lot of questions all the time, but like getting to know Sam, our energy is very similar where we just like, we need to know things. So we're not leaving anything unsaid. So just the two of us going back, we're just going to be talking the entire time before the match, during the match. I'm going to look at him every other second. Like, do I need to challenge it? Nah, we don't need to do any of those. But having him in my corner is always something where like that aspect of my personality, just not being afraid to ask whenever I need to ask. His buffer to allow me to be like, I don't care if it's the smallest thing. This doesn't sound right. Let me talk to the man right now, please. And he's like, call me in. 5 questions in a row. I don't care. Let's go. So I'm really excited to be able to do that.
It's going to be interesting. I mean, it's one of the first times we're going to see it in the last, year? A manager and a player.
So collision-wise, so Saul, so the IG match, both of them are the ones that'll first get to meet people in person as a manager. I'm sure Saul and Kate have been together at one point, but probably not player manager in person playing the game. As far as the other one that's in person, the teams, Koi and Shazam, and then obviously Shannon and Corruption, that's easy. So it'll be new for both sides, which will be very interesting, and 2 very different manager styles. But yeah, it's exciting. We're getting in-person, in-studio matches again. It's awesome.
Bless.
Yeah, serious.
We're gonna be watching, and we're gonna be pinpointing Jill's like laugh or yell. Or
you can definitely hear Sean more than you can hear me. I will say that.
Or alcohol bottle hitting the floor.
Yeah.
Sure. You hear a crash in the back. It's probably me.
The clinking.
Jill, do you want to go next?
I do. I actually have 2 questions. So the first is, how does it feel that in your rookie season, you are going to have a live studio match at one of the biggest pay-per-views of the year. How does that feel?
It's surreal. It's extremely surreal. I went to the Atlanta match, the one Damon played, and I brought my fiance, and she was like, "So when you're up there and blah 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 blah," and I was like, "Yeah, sure, funny," and I just think about that moment every single time because it's like the last in-person event that Schmoedown was able to do, and I was there. I kicked off the season this season. I almost kicked off the draft. I'm kicking off the first in-person event in so long, and I don't know. I'm in Christian's favor and Mark's favor, I guess. So that just keep it up. I will keep getting these wins.
Keep it coming.
Putting me in first. Go on ahead. I'm just gonna rack up the great checks off of 2021. It's gonna be lovely.
Do it.
I love that. Perfect. And then my second question: how completely stoked are you to have an actual real life wheel?
Damn you, woman! I was literally. You took two of my. You went twice in a row.
That could be good or that could be bad. Depending.
I
on
literally
how it goes,
have that right here. How excited are you
well-
to put your hands on an actual wheel?
Brian, is that pink paper? Is that pink paper, Brian?
Yeah. What's wrong with my pink paper?
I thought I saw the lighting wrong.
What's wrong with my pink paper? So offended.
It's
I am
salmon.
so excited to either spin from the pegs or the wheel.
We
When
don't know.
the wheel comes in.
We don't know what it's going to be.
The digital wheel has not been a fan of mine these first two matches at all. So I'm hoping that the physical one is friendlier. I am going to Price is Right the crap out of that thing though. So hard. I'm just gonna be like, oh yes, this is beautiful.
Could you imagine if you still get opponent's choice?
I'm gonna do the same thing. I fist pumped when I got opponent's choice last time. I'm gonna do it again if
I love that positive attitude, though. That's what we like to see. We love to see it.
It's got to be there all the time. Can't
Perfect.
get in my own head. So,
Well, speaking of opponent's choice, on Friday's match, and it's recorded weeks ago, obviously, and we'll get to the Harloff Ellis banter over the match because I do want to get your thoughts on that.
I call it the Harloff Ellis DVD commentary.
Yeah. But I wanted to ask, your second round, you were given opponent's choice and you crushed.
thank you.
How does it? I mean, that must feel like a weight kind of lifted off your shoulders, right? In a very important match, you're going up against someone like Moose Haas, who has been touted as a very, very strong IG player. Performed very well in his first match. And he's coming up against you, two highly touted rookies in this division. It must have felt just very good to get opponent's, or not to get opponent's choice, but then crush through opponent's choice and feel comfortable going in the third round after doing so.
Yeah, it helped that I was only down one going into my spin. I will say Moose is a hell of a player. That is one of the hardest Middle Earth round twos I've seen in a while, in a long while. But being able to do that, and then I knew they knew exactly what to give me because Barbarian is smart, and Moose is smart. That other guy, whatever. But yeah, I mean, he told him to spin off a TMNT, and I don't know why. But anyway, and being able, since I knew that was coming. I had looked up that category before the match, and first question off the gate was something I had looked up, and I was like, all right, cool. I'm already calm. I'm gonna get this 2-pointer. I'm even more calm. And then the one time where I did knew I possibly could give up a steal, which I did with the 80s questions because my 4 movies in my head were the 4 options they gave me. I was like, all right, I'm probably gonna give this up. Hopefully not, but where am I? And being able to navigate the game instead of worrying about I got to hit 2 points every time, it allowed me to do well in opponent's choice early on. So
Twice,
It was
too.
very
You
impressive.
you crushed opponent's choice twice. So opponent's choices. You're like,
first one wasn't technically opponent's choice, but it basically was. You got a list of what you want the most and what you want the least, and even though you might want all of them, both times where I spun off of something I'm good at to get something better, I end up with the thing I don't want.
Oh no!
So it's all right though. I'm 2-0, so I'll take it.
There you go.
A win's a win. A win's a win no matter how you get it.
Indeed.
Exactly.
Before we get to the commentary, because I know that everyone is very excited to talk about that, let's talk about the Saul stuff here real quickly. He is your next opponent. He is also 2-0 this year. And I know that there has been a little chatter here and there about the opponents he's played compared to the opponents that you have played, specifically the last match. What do you think about Saul? His knowledge and how he's been playing this year, how he's been looking. Is it something that you're looking forward to? Is it the toughest test you faced this year? What's your thought process?
Saul is a beast of a man in all aspects of the word. He is extremely intimidating knowledge-wise. He will intimidate others in terms of his personality. As I said, his anger gives me life. The more he yells, the more I smile and laugh. And but he's just been on a mission. I unfortunately have to stop that mission because outside of me or any suspect match, I'm rooting for the man. But it will be my toughest test. I don't think we're going to drop too many points at all. I'm expecting it to either come down to a 5 or we'll be sitting there a while. One or the other. That's what I'm preparing for. That's what I'm hoping for. I'd love if I KO'd him, but I would be slightly disappointed just a little bit. Give me the points, but damn, I know he's not the type of person to get KO'd or TKO'd in any way. But I'm expecting a very intense and enjoyable match because when you're challenged, it just makes it more fun.
And because I get mixed up on all the time. Is this a 5-round match or a 3-round match?
It's a 3-round match.
Okay, it is a 3-round match. Okay, I get mixed up on all the time. It's so confusing sometimes.
Is this a number 1 contender match?
It is a number 1 contenders match. Which
number 1 contenders are. We've talked about this multiple times, Jake.
Yeah, it needs to be 5.
I know.
It needs to be 5.
I agree, but hey,
I think we all agree. I think all of us agree.
Brian, I'll go back to you.
So, I mean, going into this, you didn't really have too much game tape to study on Moose. I mean, he honestly didn't have that much of a gap, I feel like, between his first game to you. So how does someone prepare to take on someone like that? Do you just brush up more on your strengths where you're just okay, I'll just back myself up, or do you just have to assume something? Because I mean, he landed on opponent's choice, giving you that ability to attack, but it's you don't really have that.
He actually did. I was the one who.
Excuse me. Yeah. Yes. But how do you prepare for something like that?
You worry about yourself. Plain and simple. You worry about yourself. I got the wheel maybe an hour or hour and a half beforehand. I had already been studying up on things that I knew might give me a little bit more trouble. And I just needed to make sure that I could get a perfect round 1 because I was assuming he was going perfect. And then 2, if I was given opponent's choice, that I had enough knowledge to work my way through it and keep the lead. But as long as you keep worrying about yourself, majority of the time you don't got to worry about what they're gonna land on or not because they won't get opponent's choice. Though this wheel this year has loved it.
Yes, it does.
But as long as you focus on you don't really have to worry about too much about your opponent because they're not answering questions for you.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
True.
Molly, did you have anything else?
I like to ask this just because I'm curious as another player. Do you like to rope in your friends and family to help you study, or are you more like a loner when it comes to studying?
I got family everywhere. It's definitely suspects, fan leagues, friends. I have a lot of people behind me, and a lot of the pulls are coming from my people for sure.
Nice.
They're quizzing me. I'm watching the fan league matches. to help me just practice getting questions out the way. Sam said it on Friday, but I'm going to just amplify it even more. Paige is by far the MVP of the suspects this year. The amount of time she is reaching out, she's putting together questions. Frankie's right behind her, but she's been the catalyst for all of us to be like, yo, you want to study? I got questions for you. What do you need? How's your match coming? Just she's been killing it, and I love her to death for that. So definitely a group effort.
Shout out
Love
to
it.
Paige.
A lot of rookies mentioned, which is nice.
Yeah, love that.
I want to know really quick while we're on that. Fan leagues, you kind of like build your team around you. How has because we obviously know the Fan League 4 was very close. How does it feel having like your own team of people led by someone, just kind of like being able to like do that stuff for you, and just so you're able to kind of focus on the games or matches? Excuse me.
It takes pressure off. Like a lot of people were saying, "Oh, you have all this pressure being the number two pick, first rookie picked," and I'm like, I don't, because I know my knowledge, I know how good I am, and I know I got to be this good because of all the people who helped me, and all the people who are going to continue to help me, and that includes outside of they won't give me questions. But like Jacoby, Peggy, and Christina, we're helping each other out whenever it's not against each other or against one of their own factions. Just with support and just being able to navigate this craziness that is being a Schmoedown player in general. Just being able to talk to them every day. So it takes a lot of the pressure off and allows me to just enjoy it.
What do you have to say to someone like Jake who wants to see the Fan League 4 fight each other to the death in trivia?
Don't like you.
Peggy versus Jacoby.
We don't like you.
No, we love you, sir. We love you, sir, but we don't like you. We don't like you.
Peggy versus Jacoby.
That is a nightmare of nightmares. For real. And we are low-key excited when it happens, but we are scared to death to see which one is the first one. And then it's going to be like when they knock that first one out, they're just going to continue doing it. And it's like, that's not fair in any way, shape, or form. Just Jacoby and Christina don't have to worry about doing it against each other right now.
It's the only way that it can happen at this moment in time is Jacoby and Peggy, because obviously you're an IG. And the other three are in singles. And
unless Jacoby goes IG, which he is very capable of.
That's true. And Jacoby and Christina being on the same team, so Peggy versus Jacoby, make it happen. Come on.
Jake just likes chaos.
He does.
Yeah.
He's an agent of chaos.
Love seeing it.
Chaos.
Yeah. And a jerk.
Just kidding. We don't like you.
Well, okay. Let's get to this. Let's get to this commentary. And I want everyone's thoughts on this. And I want to start with Amaru, obviously, because it was your match. Mm-hmm. First of all, I imagine recording it was as normal as can be when everything went down, and then you were given the word that the audio had lost. Yeah. What was your feeling while watching it, hearing Christian and Mark go complete old school schmoes no on your match with Moose?
Going into it, I was just thinking this is going to be very interesting to see how they pull this off. And it was cool to hear them just commentate over it. I will say, digital age, there's a chance this happens again.
Yeah,
y'all need the answers next time. Y'all gotta have answers next time.
Yeah.
I know they said they were gonna, like, in between it, they were like, let me go pull it up. Yeah. And Mark was like, nah. And I understand that feeling. You're in the middle of something, you didn't get something ready, and you're like, they can get what we're giving them. They're gonna be fine. And I understand that. And with Christian and Mark's ability to just banter, they killed it. It was nice. The one thing I did miss was being able to, like, know what the answers were for those watching, and to just see how well Moose and I did. There were a couple things where, like, me and Moose had a couple of moments that we were kind of just like, he called it in his promo in symbiosis, I guess, because we had a few moments in there where we were able to just enjoy it together and it was cool. So did miss a little bit of that, but they salvaged what they could and they did it a really, really good job on it. So I appreciated the work they put in to make sure everybody got to see the match.
I love the fact that they played each other in the second round, which was amazing.
I know.
But like you said, like there were some times, and it's not a knock, but there were some times where they were reading the question and you guys were already answering the question.
Yeah.
Because they were just like so behind. And yeah, I mean, having a key helps, but doing it random like that on the whim kind of makes it fun. I think that's what made it so fun. It was a lot more fun than I was expecting it to be.
Me too. I tuned into it and I was, my first thought was my heart broke for you and Moose. I was like, oh no, they did this whole match and all of their answers, you can't hear it if they had any like trash talk or any like really sweet moments at the end of the match. You can't hear that. But I was like, oh, that's really unfortunate. But then as a fan, you know, I was watching it and at first I was like, what is happening? What is this?
I thought Mark was talking and Christian
Me
was
too.
over Guy's voice.
Me too. And I was like,
I thought was happening.
I was trying because like when I popped into it, Mark was talking, but video Mark was also talking at the same time. So I was like, okay, everything's fine. And then things just kind of went weird from there.
Yeah.
But the more I watched it, the more I was like, I kind of want more, not that I want to get rid of the audio and have them do a commentary, but like a Patreon thing, like have them do a DVD style commentary of some of the matches. It would just be absolutely hilarious, I think. Like a bonus feature kind of thing.
I mean, they got your reactions to look after, so they had plenty of people to call to figure out how to do it well. So
that's what we were saying. We were like, probably a good thing we didn't do a reaction.
Could you imagine if we were doing a reaction to that?
We don't know what we would have done.
We wouldn't even know what to do.
It would have been a disaster. I don't know. Yeah,
I thought it was fun. Like I enjoyed it. Like I was definitely like laughing along with them because like Mark would just say something and Christian would tell him to like suck it and just like because he's getting questions right.
What did he say when Alderaan got wasted? Like
yeah, it just like I mean that part was funny. The only thing that sucks is like you don't get to flex like you did, like actually like hear you coming quick with answers and stuff like that. So like that part's a bummer, but like the alternative was just announcing that you won.
Yeah.
That would have sucked. So, I mean, like, you kind of pick and choose. I mean, I would much rather have, and I'm sure you would too, like, visually seeing you play and win and have these two speak over than just being like, yeah, the match got corrupted in a file or something, and just so you know, Rue won. Like that.
Yeah.
I think that's what people need to realize was like, pick your poison. Like,
yeah,
it could have been way worse than
it was the best decision in the situation. I think what they did.
I mean, but like I said, it always sucks if like, I mean, and it seemed like a great match. Like,
it was a great match.
It was a great match. Very, very great match. Back and forth. We killed it, but.
Y'all killed it.
Yeah.
You killed it.
But I mean, I think it for what it was was great to see. And I mean, you guys seem to be having a great time. Like you said, it was extremely back and forth. Mm-hmm. So I mean, like, I was holding my breath until the end. Like, did they answer it right? Like,
me too. I didn't know what the anticipation.
Like, I'm watching the score go like. Did it go up? Okay, cool. He got 2. And it's just like, it's different, but you know, I understand you wanted to come back and flex and then you can't fully.
Right.
So, yeah.
I felt like I got a little bit better at lip reading just watching that match. I was like, what did he say? Oh, yeah, I got it. Okay.
You definitely knew my 2-pointer like off the bat, whether or not I got it or not. Whether or not I said Alderaan blowing up.
I totally read those lips. I was like, he said Alderaan. You were like Alderaan blowing up. I was like, he said it. I read the lips. He got it right. He did it.
There were two lines between Ellis and Harloff that killed me. One was Alderaan got wasted when you said that, and then at one point, I think it was in round 2. I think maybe when Christian beat him or something, Christian goes suck on it, Ellis, and it was I just died, just absolutely died. Like I said, it was like old school Schmoedown days, which was really really fun. But
I did like when I first started watching it, I was like, oh yeah, this is kind of funny. Like they're talking over it and like playing each other. But yeah, after round 1, getting into round 2, I was like, they should really have the answers.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I mean, it happens.
You know.
It happens.
It happens. It happens.
Well, crew, any final questions for Amaru before we let him out of here? Jill,
I
go ahead.
do. How do you like to drink your Captain Morgan?
Oh.
I don't, unfortunately.
Oh no!
Sorry.
Delete
Right
it.
answer.
Delete that answer.
Right answer.
No,
Delete that
if there's a coconut version, that's how. You give me a
There-
coconut
oh.
Captain Morgan, and bring the Dr. Pepper, and then
Well, maybe you could
We're
let
good.
them know that
we're
at
good.
Collision. Hey, got a coconut flavored Captain Morgan?
Yes.
Make it happen.
throw some Malibu rum in there.
Yeah, just throw some Malibu in. All better.
How excited are you for this free vacation, though?
Very, very. I'm so happy. So happy. It is the summer, so I'm a teacher. I'm not working.
Nice, perfect.
So it's just another vacation. Hoping to get some of my boys out to watch me do Nerd Bowl, as they call it, and I love them just being there for it. So if you see some people getting hyphy in the crowd, that's my people. My people.
Yes. I'm gonna listen for years. Just
Love
everywhere.
it. Love it.
Yeah, if I hear that, I'm gonna get excited. And make sure since you're gonna be like one of the first people, like find a wall somewhere and put like Amaru.
Put your name. Write your name somewhere.
So
That would be cool
yeah,
to have in the studio. Everyone who enters writes
That
their
would
name
be
on the wall. That would be
cool.
really
that
cool.
would be cool. Like
That'd be fun.
their match
That'd be
date or
rad.
something.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Something everyone can sign. Ooh, that'd be very cool.
Christian, if you're listening, make sure you
Take
get
a note, Christian. Take a note, Christian.
Well,
I will give you that for free.
It's always good to talk to you, man, and especially after a win. Obviously, it always helps.
Yes.
But you're going into a big match, and we can't wait to see what happens. And we wish you the best of luck. It happens here, not too far out, and we're excited to see what happens. And I'm sure Jill will report back some very good things when Collision does go down. So good luck on
Or
everything,
will
man.
I? I'm gonna keep it all a secret.
Let's be
Bring
real.
that
You
belt.
can't keep anything a secret from us.
Oh yes, I can. Oh yes, I can.
Get that belt. That's all I'm saying.
I'm gonna try. Thank you.
Bring it back to the bank.
Of course. Well, good luck and have a good night, man. Thanks for
All
joining.
right,
See you
y'all
soon,
too. Appreciate
Amaru.
Later.
Have a good night. We're
It's
gonna
always
be
good to
back
talk
in
to.
studio. We're gonna be back in studio.
Jealous. Real quick, before we do move on, if all of you in the chat are wondering what we're talking about with Captain Morgan is the official sponsor of the Schmoedown Collision. And I'll just throw this up because it is Amaru's match. You can see it right there on the header. They are officially sponsoring the big event that is happening at the end of July. And that's why we keep bringing up Captain Morgan. And there might also be something Captain Morgan related happening next month for us as well. You never know. You never absolutely know.
Sponsor us.
Great.
So, no, I'm not saying sponsorship. I'm just saying with the drink in general.
What if they sponsor Happy Hour?
I mean, I'm happy to. Hey, you want to throw a sponsorship? I'll drink
You
all the
want to
Captain Morgan
send
on the
some
show you want me
Captain
to.
Morgan my way? I'm not gonna say no. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's like my goal. Like by the end of this year, find someone to sponsor us just like one time. I'm curious
Just
who we could get.
Either Taco Bell or Captain Morgan.
Oh my god,
yeah.
if it was Taco Bell.
Let's be real. If we were gonna get any sponsorships, it's Taco Bell or
Oh.
Captain Morgan because that's
What's-
awesome.
100%.
What's funny about that though is like Taco Bell doesn't need sponsorships.
No.
We
It's
just want
it's
free
Taco
Taco
Bell.
Bell.
They will,
We just want
and
the
I'm
free
looking
Taco
at Taco Bell. They will if they keep getting rid of all the stuff on the menu. Just saying.
I know, got rid of my freaking double decker tacos.
Yeah, I wish they would come back because that thing
Never,
was the
never
bomb.
forgive you for that.
Uh-oh.
Taco Bell.
Jake, you're gonna get in trouble. Was the image approved by Captain
It
Mouse?
was. It was for like 3 seconds. It's a Schmoedown image. I think it has to be approved by Schmoedown. Brian Ward, don't do that. Stop it.
Get him. That's what he gets for saying the Peggy and Jacoby stuff.
before we move on to the other collision matches, let's talk about Friday. Because my
Yes,
goodness, did we
let's.
get a match between
let's.
two number one contenders here? We had Ethan Irwin, big time Ethan Irwin for the Suspects, going up against Ben the Boss Bateman for the Dungeon. And this was definitely the match that
Can
we
you throw that
expected.
back up really quick? Look at the face difference. Like Ethan's like, I'm so happy to be here, and Ben's like, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Well, it's like the beginning of the match where Ben was doing his character stuff, and Ethan made some kind of comment, and he was like, "It's character work, Ethan. It's character work," or something like that. Just to kind of make sure it happened. But so we don't have to worry about spoilers this one because everyone got the match this Friday.
Y'all
which is a
got
cool
the
little
link.
treat.
No
Cool little treat
excuses
there.
not to watch.
So if you haven't watched it, that's on you. So you've had a couple days. But let's talk about this one because this one was definitely a big match. Obviously, the winner goes on to play Mr. Dan Murrell, and Ethan Irwin walked away with the victory in overtime, but came with a little controversy, a little bit, not a tiny bit, but a little bit at the end of the match that we will definitely get to. But let's talk about the match in general here. Jill, I'll just go around the table and I'll start with you. What did you think of this one, and how'd you think it ended up?
It ended up as I think we were all expecting. I was like, they're gonna basically go into overtime where it's gonna come down to the 5, which is we saw what happened. I want to give a very lovely special shout out to hopefully the manager of the week, Mr. Adam Witt, because he
Fan
is
favorite Adam Witt.
treasure.
Fan favorite Adam Witt.
Fan favorite Adam Witt. Sorry, fan favorite.
Or
Adam
what
Witt.
was it? Adam Kaiser?
Adam
wasn't
Kaiser.
Well, he was just Adam Witt this time. Yeah,
It was Adam Witt. But no, this match was great. I also loved, speaking of the Ben going, it's character work, Ethan. Like there was a whole bunch of kind of like those fourth wall character breaks between Bateman and Irwin, which I loved to see. Because this is how Irwin is. Like Ben knows that nothing's gonna phase Ethan, and so like he's not going to continue with the I'm the boss Bateman if it's not going to phase him at all, and he's just going to laugh at you for it. So like he's going to do those fourth wall breaks, which I loved. I loved seeing that. This was a great match. It was they both got perfect round ones. Yes. And
No. Excuse me.
no.
Yeah, someone missed the.
No, Ben.
Bateman missed one of his final questions, if not
But
the
then
last
Ethan-
question.
But Ethan did not get the bonus.
Ethan went perfect.
But he didn't get the bonus.
He did.
Did
Someone on the chat will correct
I
me.
don't remember. Someone.
Everything blends, guys. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But it was. Okay, so
they both went perfect. Ben missed his
and then
bonus.
Ben missed
That's
his
what I
bonus.
thought.
That's what it
I
was.
thought they
Okay.
both-
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you.
But this was a joy. This was such a fun match, and we'll talk about the controversy later, which I have thoughts. But yeah, no, I loved every single moment of this match. I thought it was great. I thought it was textbook, wonderful head-to-head Schmoedown match. We got some fun character work. We got fan favorite Adam Witt. We got controversy. It has everything you want in a match, really. So no complaints from me.
I have a quick question for the crew because it was the bonus question that Ben missed. Has anybody ever heard of Premium Rush?
No. You're asking
Sounds
the
like a
wrong person.
drink.
The movie.
It
the
does
movie.
sound like a cocktail.
It does.
Right?
The movie is awesome. And obviously, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, but he's a bike courier and he gets caught up in some kind of like thing, and he has to like run away from a bunch of people on a bike in New York City, and it's awesome. The movie.
It also sounds like a Baja Blast flavor.
That's fair.
Baja Blast Premium Rush. Like
Yeah.
Taco
Molly,
Bell
what about
sponsor us.
Molly, what about you as the resident dungeon head here? What did you think of this one?
I enjoyed it. Ben played great. I mean, they both played great. It was a nearly perfect match for both of them. You could tell there was like a lot of kind of tense moments between the two of them. I don't know how to really explain it, but this went pretty much how I thought it was gonna go. It was probably gonna come down to someone's 5, and Adam coming in with that challenge. Oh boy! Like
I mean, we can talk about it if we want to right now. I mean, my
Yes,
goodness.
I mean, yeah. Because other than that, it was, like you said, Jill, a pretty textbook match, I would say. But, like, I knew about the challenge because I watched it a little bit later than it aired live, and I knew people were like talking about it, and I was like, what is going on? And I heard the question, and I was like, okay, what's the challenge? And then as soon as he came on and said it, I was like, oh yeah, I totally thought that he was talking about Drive as one of the movies. Like I had to hear the question like 5 times before I caught the challenge. So
yeah,
I thought it was a good challenge.
I think we're all on the same page here. I think it was one of the best challenges we've ever seen.
100 freaking %.
Because like Molly, so the question was, what Oscar-winning actor directed the films Drive, he said, and Going South? So like Ben Bateman, and I'm whether or not he was just doing it for the question, who knows? But he challenged it. It's an acceptable challenge. I first was thinking about Drive. That was the only film. The only film that popped in my head, I was like, okay, who directed Drive? And I know the director of Drive, but I'm like, is he an Oscar-winning actor? And so it just kept processing in my head. And so it's one of the smartest challenges I think we've ever seen. And it's only right that it comes down to someone as tactical as Ben Bateman. Like, it fits Ben Bateman as a challenge so much.
But Ben's not the one who made the challenge.
Okay, that's true. Yeah. That's true.
And people people are like, why is Ben making this petty challenge? Ben did not make that challenge. Adam Witt 100% made that challenge. That was a
king of challenges.
You're right.
So
Molly knows.
I know, and I think that because I was in the live chat and I was watching, and I think all of us are the same. I heard 3 films when the question was asked.
Yeah.
The last time.
Not the last time, but even the last time I was still going. Drive,
I think it all depends on how you personally hear things.
That is what, when it was going to come to me, that is exactly what I was going to say. Yeah. It's however you heard the question, and each person heard it differently, because I am not one to defend Ben Bateman, but I heard it and did the exact same thing that he did.
Hooked onto Drive.
Hooked onto the word Drive.
Yep.
I was like, I have no idea what those other movies are, and went, who did Drive? Who did Drive? Who did Drive? And that's all I thought about. So, like I said, not one to defend him, but I did when I was watching, did the exact same thing. So I could see, it's just however you listen to it and however you play, I guess, essentially, because I mean, the first time I heard Mark say it, I heard it as Drive. And then the whatever the last time I went, did he just say 2 different movies now? I was
he said it a lot quicker.
Yeah. So it just, and I understand people said, well, that's not, he didn't direct Drive anyways, so it doesn't matter, and like that. It doesn't matter. He was thinking specifically into one thing, but if you're thinking something else because of the way the question is written, it's going to throw you off.
And that's a good touching point, because I see a lot of people in the chat saying stuff, and even in the live chat as well, and people online, that just because he latched onto Drive, he still didn't know the answer to like Going South and stuff. But like we're talking about, and Molly can attest to this as well, if you hear something in a question, it's hard to get away from something that you completely latch onto. Like if you hear one word that kind of just like clicks in your brain as the most powerful thing that you just heard in that sentence, you're not going to be able to step away from it. He couldn't step away from Drive. And whether or not you believe him, that's your preference. But he heard Drive, and he was instantly thinking of the Ryan Gosling film. That's what he was thinking of. And he could not get away from it. And in 15 seconds, that goes very quickly. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So,
not to mention, go ahead.
I was going to say, like, we've seen our fair share of, like, what I would say are poorly worded questions, or, like, just, like, kind of confusing questions. But, like, when it's a such a close match, and it's your 5-point question, and you have the time with the repeats and everything. Like, just it was definitely a challenge that needed to be upheld. And I think Mark, I like how Mark took like full responsibility of like how he worded it differently the first 2 times, I think. And then the third time it was like a little bit, he realized like, oh, this is what I'm reading and it's not this other thing. But yeah, it happens. And some people would just be like, oh, that was kind of a weirdly worded question. I lost it. Oh, well. But like, if you're going to use your challenge, use it or lose it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's tough. I know that we're in no shape or form question writers for the Schmoedown, and we're obviously pro team.
Even the question writers. Jeremy was in the live chat. He said, I, as a question writer, 100% agree with this challenge.
Yeah, and the question could have been like, the challenge would have been denied if the question was flip-flopped and it said the films Going South and Drive, he said. If they literally just flipped the titles, then it wouldn't have mattered.
Yes.
I know they can't put something like, did he direct the 2 films? You can't put like the number in there because not very many questions are written like that. But if you had literally just flipped the titles because one of the titles does have a comma in it, then it's a totally different thing. Whether or not you know the answer is a different story. The question was just worded. It wasn't worded the correct way. Is the only way it came down to it.
My thing is, if you slap that thing written on a teleprompter and they are to read it, it's gonna have name the movie. What was the question, Jake? Read it to me.
Which Oscar-winning actor directed Drive, he said, and Going South?
Okay, so the movie literally has a comma in the name. So if you see it written out, it's going to say
I would
Drive,
see it written out as 3
comma,
movies.
He said, and so it's like contextually written right.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, either way. So you kind of have to pick and pull, and things happen, and you just got to remember, Bateman wasn't the one that challenged it. This was Adam Witt.
Yes.
Ben was thinking of it this way, but even Witt thought of it the same way as his person playing. So it's things are going to happen. It's going to happen.
Here's my controversial thing with it. I think a lot of people who are kind of getting up in arms over it are doing so because it was Ben Bateman.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to say that. I completely agree. Sam had every right to be 100% angry about that challenge.
I love
as the opposing manager, I probably would have been pissed about it too, to be completely honest. Your player was just said that he was the winner, and now there's a challenge. I'd be pissed too. But on the flip side, I could totally see Sam making that same exact challenge.
Oh, 100%. Every manager would have done the same thing.
I 100%
every
see
manager would have
managers
done
making the same challenge.
Yep.
And I think people.
I mean, he made a challenge for me, so
exactly. Like, and so I think people made fuss because it was Ben Bateman, but it wasn't Ben. It was Witt. And at the end of the day, I learned a phrase this weekend. Ball don't lie. Apparently, is what I learned from Dwayne. So
ball don't lie.
Ball don't lie. At the end of the day, it didn't affect the match. So this is one of these challenges.
Didn't. That's what's so funny about it. It didn't affect the match.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That is what this is exactly. No, not that. No, this.
Exactly.
That is exactly the thing.
Literally.
If anyone in the league would have made that challenge,
it would be Sam.
Yeah. Anyone.
Because he also makes those brilliant challenges. Like, we've seen it. So, like, and I think that's why people, because it was Ben Bateman, and I get it. People don't like Ben's character. Fine. Like, I get it. That's my 2 cents on it. But it's definitely one of those challenges where that challenge is going to change question writing going forward, which isn't a bad thing. That's how the question writers learn, and they edit and they do all that stuff. So that's my pedestal for the day. I'm getting off my horse. I thought that was the most brilliant challenge we've seen in the show.
I just think, like, personally, I mean, this is a different person, but like this, I feel like it does come a little bit down to the person that it was being challenged for, because like if it was Roka, people probably would be doing the same thing.
Yeah.
If it was, I'm trying to think of someone.
A face.
Paul
Just any face
Oyama.
character.
Paul Oyama.
No, I feel like I'm thinking someone completely neutral that like you would be like, oh.
Like a Brendan Meyer.
Not even Brendan, because Brendan is very good. He's very good. Just someone new, like a rookie. People probably wouldn't think too much of it.
Yeah.
But I mean, when it's someone like Bateman or Roka or someone that's been around for a while, it does hold a little bit more validity to
I'll say this. If Dan Murrell had made that challenge, people wouldn't have been up in arms about it.
The Outlaw Nation would have, but that's about it.
But okay, whatever. It's the Outlaw Nation.
But again, at the end of the day, it didn't matter because
it didn't matter. Didn't matter.
Look, ultimately, just a few questions later, because it did go to overtime after Bateman and Witt won the challenge. Ethan Irwin wins on, and I know people are giving Ben a lot of crap for this. He won on an action adventure question about the Expendables. Which wrestler was Eric Roberts' right-hand man in the film? And it was Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Ironic and kind of funny.
Yeah, it was Stone Cold Steve Austin, and he answered with Bill Goldberg. Bateman did. And Ethan Irwin is now going on to play Dan Murrell once again. They have faced. Go ahead.
I do want to say that I thought it was hilarious that Ethan completely thought he had lost.
Yeah, I think that was a total guess.
He was like, "Oh,
yeah."
He was like,
"I'm pretty sure
wait,
that was
I
a
won."
total guess on his part of an answer."
Yeah, I loved that.
There was literally zero confidence in Ethan that he had got the right answer.
No.
He was just like, well, this is how it turns out.
Here's a wrestler.
And then
here's a wrestler who's not John Cena. Like, here you go.
Yeah. And he was just looks like, oh, what the hell? I won? Like,
yeah.
It just
great.
kind of, I thought he lost.
I did too.
Just from his reaction. And then his reaction was like the same as mine. I was like, oh, he didn't lose.
Wait, what?
So, I mean, but yes, like I said, it is kind of ironic that Bateman did lose on an action question. And I think this is the second
Not the first time. Not
the
first time
that it has happened. So
and I'm not trying to defend, but I'm just saying, even though he is an action guy, he's not going to know every single action film ever.
Of course not. People
you know
are
the
obviously
answer?
just going to give him ish about it.
I knew the answer because I love the Expendables.
Alex knew it because we were sitting together watching it, and he blurted it out, and I was like, "Oh, okay."
But like again, it goes down to what you know and kind of what you latch onto, right? And of course, like we want to give him a little crap because he's an action guy. It's an action movie, but at the same time, it's also like
I didn't know the Little Mermaid guys.
I mean, now that you brought it up, we can give her more crap again. But you
know, does everyone remember when I forgot Kira's name?
Oh yeah, there you go.
It happens.
Everyone has brain farts.
Lots of brain farts. But the ironicism is not lost.
No, obviously people are gonna latch onto that. As a competitor, I don't blame you. Like if I was someone who was always up against Bateman, I too would latch onto that and be like, another action guy missed another action question.
Oh yeah. Funny. Like if I'm gonna tout myself as I don't know, the god of Fast and Furious franchise, and I miss a Fast and Furious question to win the game, then I'm gonna probably be like, oh well, shit. So it's just whatever, but it's just kind of funny, you know.
It happens.
So but congrats to Ethan.
Yeah,
congrats
to Ethan. Ethan's scary, dude.
He has ice in his veins.
I don't know if you guys knew this, but did you know that this was his 28th game?
That's ridiculous.
Whoa.
Well, didn't Christian say he's 2 wins away from having the same record as Merle? It's
one of them.
I think they said he's the third most playingest player
between teams and singles. He's played 28 games.
Hence why I use that franchise.
Hopefully, win saw Fast 9 because Lucas Black is in that one. So
he was.
Yeah, he is in that one.
And
But yeah, so Ethan Irwin's going on to play Dan Murrell. We'll obviously preview that match when it does come. It is coming very quickly. It'll be right around the corner. But we're going to see a matchup between Irwin and Murrell once again for the title. They played last year. They played in New York. They're playing again. So we will see that. But with all of the challenge pay-per-view stuff out of the way, where do we want to go next, guys? Do we want to talk about Collision or do we want to talk about the tournament stuff? What are we thinking?
Tournament
stuff?
Wait.
All right.
I've been waiting to get.
So during the pay-per-view, it was confirmed that the Inner Geekdom, Star Wars, and Next Teams tournament will all be 8 participants. So 1 from each faction. And the singles will be a whopping 32 players. Not from each faction.
Math.
Total.
Do the math for me. How many players
that's 4
per?
Is that? That's 4 per.
Thank you.
4 per. I don't know if they're going to do a play-in because last year they did a play-in, which made it ultimately 36 players. But we'll see what happens. There was 9 factions last year. Now there's only 8. But we get 32 players. So let's start with the big announcement here that the Star Wars is 8 because we were told early in the year that it possibly could be 16. They're dwindling it down and keeping it 1 per faction. This obviously throws a wrinkle probably in a lot of factions' plans because now they have to decide. Decisions have to be made, and it all comes down to who's the champion that time, etc. Too. Like I know Swag has a lot of Star Wars players. I know Corruption has a couple. Dungeon obviously has a couple.
Dungeon has like 4.
Yeah, there's a lot of decisions to be made here. What are we thinking here?
I'll go first.
Tim, I'll get to your Streamlab next. Go ahead, Brian.
Here's my thing. And I'm not trying to come for anyone or anything, but
do it, Brian. Come for
these decisions, something like this, need to be made before the season starts. Because here's my reasoning. You might have a team that is looking to draft a certain way because of said tournament. Mm-hmm. Before the draft, we had in our heads the first Star Wars tournament was going to be 8, the second one was going to be 16. She's literally made a bedroom in the dungeon. She ain't ever leaving.
I'll just be here, guys.
Yeah.
I'm here. Let me know when you need me.
and like Raiko's saying, I understand the managers voted on this, but guess what? Not everyone thought that way going into it. Majority rules if you're voting. I'm assuming it's majority, 5-3. All you need is 5 people, but maybe those 3 that want the 16 were the ones that drafted that way. Not everyone's drafting the same way. Those decisions are huge and impact the rest of the season. And it puts some teams in a better position because look at how heavy Dungeon is. They've got up to 4 Star Wars potential players. That's a lot of Star Wars players. These type of things need to be decided, in my opinion, before season because then you can plan this out. I understand the managers voted, but it only takes one person to draft a certain way and their team be screwed because the other 7 want it to do it a different way. Mm-hmm. So, that is my biggest thing from it is, and this isn't just Star Wars. This could be the same for IG. Teams. If you have a heavy, singles and teams is a little bit different. Maybe you want to draft with 2 teams. So
real quick before we get too far into it, Tim Sim's super chat does talk about Harloff's comments on this. So let me just read this before we move on. Harloff's Twitter comments and Tim, thank you so much for the donation. Harloff's Twitter comments on the tourney setups. We only had so much room. Not enough IG players for 16-person tourney as opposed to singles. I would be leaving out so many people this season in a 16-person singles tournament. Which is why the 3 of them are 8 and the singles is 32. The singles is the majority. I get that a lot of people didn't want to see that many in the tournament, but the singles is the majority.
The 32 singles bother me. I agree with 32.
And there's also time. Like, you can't have 4 tournaments going on at once, right? No. It's hard to have 2 tournaments going on at once, with timing and getting other matches and players in, because those people who aren't competing in the tournament also need to have matches on top of the tournament stuff that's happening, on top of the pay-per-views that are going to be happening. There's a lot to think about more so than last year, because we were only having 1 pay-per-view a month. We were in the new digital age, and there weren't I guess there were more players last year, but it's just, and I'm with Brian. I am with Brian. I think that the indecision was definitely tough to hear, because earlier this year we had talked so many times about, man, a 16-person Star Wars tournament would be awesome. It would be amazing.
That one's a little bit more understandable. Like, it sucks because it'd be dope.
Yeah.
But that one is a little bit more understandable.
Changing that one from 16 to 8.
Yeah, because
I think that makes the least sense, because even some people have said in the chat, are we going to see Nikki play this season?
I think there's not in the tournament. It sounds like there's more Star Wars player than officially set up IG players, which is why we're saying a Star Wars 16 would make more sense than an IG 16.
Yes.
Because a lot of IG players go back and forth between IG and singles, and they're going to choose singles over IG most of the time.
Yeah.
Like an Eric Zipper might choose a singles over an IG tournament, right? Mm-hmm. And that rules him out for a tournament. Or someone like Chance, he might choose a singles over an IG tournament. That rules him out. What if Mike's champion? Then they have to go down the board to see who else they have.
Yep.
Like, there's a lot of I's and T's to cross and dot and zigzag lines and X's and O's to kind of figure into all of this, because it's so much more complicated this year than it was last year. But like I said, I still wanted to see a 16-player Star Wars tournament.
Yeah, I did too.
I feel like if they had known this early on, maybe we just wouldn't have had the first Star Wars tournament.
Wrong.
Yeah.
Like, if they had known, which they didn't, ahead of time, that this one was not going to work out to be 16, they probably would have just combined them and done one big one.
Yeah.
Which is just unfortunate, and it sucks, but it sucks for the players, I feel like, because it's like, that's a lot of pressure. You're the only one. You're like the chosen one of your faction to be going into the tournament, when maybe for months you had been like tag team, like studying with someone else who maybe thought that they were going to be in a big tournament. Mm-hmm. So, but it is what it is.
It's going to be very fun to see what a lot of these managers do. Like I know Laura's playing Demalanta here very soon. Whoever loses, say Laura loses, it's going to be between Laura and Ace going in that tournament. If Demalanta loses,
who would you put in that situation?
I don't know, and we're gonna have a show where we're making predictions. So don't reveal.
Do you know how many?
We will have a prediction show.
And
who's
the other?
Alex and Zach. You have Demalanta and Whiteley.
Okay, I was like,
I mean, there's a lot of, and the only faction that is really set in having one player is Finsock with
they have Haas
with Gold Leader.
Too.
They do have Haas, but Gold Leader. I mean, why would you not put him back?
Why would you not?
Right?
Because he made it
why
to
would
the
you
finals
not?
of the last one.
Absolutely.
And then the Den. It's interesting. It might play into their favor if Thomas has the belt at that point. They throw Ross in if Lazy can't do it. They made a smart move if that happens, and so. It's going to be very, very fun to see what happens with a lot of these factions who have 2, aka the dungeon having 4. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be fun. But on the flip side, all the other tournaments, IG, if there's not enough people, it makes sense as far as just a standpoint of not having the players to fill. You're not going to throw someone in who's like, I might be able to if you want me to. We don't want that. We want 16 or 8 players who are confident IG players to make the best tournament possible.
Here's my thing with that, though. We have less than 16 IG players in the whole entire league.
Well, again, depending on
Depending on
what
faction.
if the IG and singles are going the same exact time is what I'm saying. What if they had to make a decision? Because 32 players in a tournament, that's a long tournament. That is a long tournament.
Well,
I'm assuming that's just gonna make up the rest of the year. Is just this
Probably.
I would assume
Probably.
so.
But again, you might have to run a tournament with that.
Yeah.
And it might be IG. Like you might run Star Wars and teams together and IG and singles together. I don't know.
Yeah. This you gotta take the off season to figure your
Oh my
tournament.
god.
Oh, Jesus.
Surprise!
Because
Bateman's
the
going to be in the
dungeon
next
might-
one.
Yeah.
Because the
Yeah.
dungeon might have like 5 stars.
And same again with the dungeon and the IG. They got to decide between Parker and Mara.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot
that's-
of those situations for a couple teams as well where that happens.
Yeah.
And that one, I kind like no shade, but I understand because if Parker would have kept going and won the belt, the decision would have been made for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that one is a little bit for me a little bit of a gray area because that opportunity that was a
They had an
chance.
opportunity or-
Yeah.
It's a 31 match
Oh.
tournament.
Crap.
Gee.
So say for example, say that it is 2 matches a week. That's what 15 weeks worth of matches.
That's a lot. I mean, it. You think about it. They're
not going to
The
do all
season's
3 days
get-
because you have Star Wars and IG to cover. Like,
Yeah.
Well, let's think about it this way. The season ends, the first week in December when Spectacular happens?
Spectacular.
it'll probably end like 2 weeks before. Oh well, the official season. Yes, you're correct. Sorry.
Yeah. So you have November, October, September, August, and next month. So you have 5 months to fit 4 tournaments. I would say it's safe to say we're only going to have tournament stuff probably by August. Maybe August through the rest of November.
Yeah, no, it'll all start once Collision airs. Collision airs at the
Yeah.
end of July. So
It'll be
Yeah,
right after
exactly.
Christmas.
So August. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting, and I'm very curious to see how it's structured. Like, are we going to do one tournament at a time? We're going to do
they're
so-
probably going to have to run.
Well, singles is going to have to be
Something is
Correct,
going to
with another
overlap at some
tournament.
point.
Yeah.
Obviously the tournament final will probably be a pay-per-view event, so it'll probably run. Yeah, something is going to overlap something. But real quick, we do have a super chat from Mr. Tim
I
Sim.
do love this idea, Tim. I will say.
Probably it's too late, but I would love to see a live first round drawing of the 32 singles tournament, so we can see who faces who in a real time.
Oh
maybe
my
next
god,
year.
yes.
I mean,
I love that.
I
Do
would
the-
probably
the
say that it
little
might not even
lottery
be late
balls.
yet.
Do it out. Do it.
The
Do
lottery
what they
balls.
did with Anarchy. Just draw it out of a hat.
I would
Like,
honestly. Why not do that for every
I-
tournament?
I
Why not do
love
that for every tournament? That's
Yeah,
an
no,
that's an
none of
hour
this-
stream. That's an
none of
hour
this
stream, easy.
seed-
I'm always
none of
sitting
this
here
seed
going,
nonsense.
F you guys, F you guys, F you guys.
I
None
don't
of this
care.
seed- we don't want the seed nonsense. We want it pulled out of a hat. Is what we want.
Make it super extra interesting and have fun with that.
Oh, good luck,
Um,
Ryan.
or maybe you enter 3 and you have to your 4th person is chosen out of a bunch. I don't know. I do like if the tournament, let's say singles, because that's the most ginormous. I do think it needs to be structured in a sense of March Madness, where it's 1 versus 16, 2 versus 15.
Oh, I've always thought there needs to be seeding. There needs to be seeding.
And so that needs to be one of 2 things. It needs to be done that way or completely at random. And I think
I agree.
because
the players are ranked on the website for a reason.
exactly, then that's
Use
exactly
the
where I was
rankings.
about to go.
Use the rankings.
Now that you have that, and Frank does a fantastic job updating that immediately going into this tournament, you should have a good idea of who's the top, who's the bottom of the rankings, and go off that. And you know what? There are gonna be upsets because
Yeah.
look at the way we had Roca and Collins last year.
Perry and Mike.
Perry and Mike. So you
Ace.
just saying Oh, that's not
Face in
fair. Like a
general.
1 in 16, like
Chance.
that 16 person's gonna get slaughtered. No, it's not. There are going to be upsets, and it's going to destroy brackets.
I know that last year, and Ryko put it in the chat. They had a ranking / seeding last year, but I would, and I don't know how people feel about this, but I would actually love for them to actually put a number next to the name and see who really is.
I don't like that.
Who really is like the first seed and the 6th seed, and etc.
Wouldn't you just go off of the ranking? Like, I mean, that.
Yes, but
oh, you
because
mean
of,
like 1
ties,
to 16?
who actually is ranked where, and it's not a knock against anybody. It's just how it happens. Obviously, if you're playing someone like an Ethan Irwin in the first round, you probably know you're on the lower half of the seeds or the low seeds. So it's just an interesting idea. All right. Any final thoughts?
I would like to see
go ahead.
little balls being picked
Just
up.
I think
put
that's a
me
great
in the
idea.
Star Wars FCL. I'm gonna go to the Star Wars FCL, and because that just seems like a fun time.
Everyone there's
You're not
such
wrong.
fun. You just have good times there.
I won't need to study. It'll be great.
You might even be able to drink during matches. And
Not
just-
studying.
I'll be completely drunk.
Sean Sullivan does drink his apple juice when he competes. So
Yeah.
True. All right. Any final thoughts on these tournaments before we kind of wrap up with the collision match?
See,
bring
Peggy,
him on.
this is what happens when you give Frank Janish a freaking compliment.
Damn it, Frank.
The last time I checked, I was like, "Wow, this
He's
man's doing
a
great job."
busy guy.
the
He's a
Frank?
busy guy.
What the
What the
Frank?
Frank?
Yeah.
What the
Frank?
Frank?
You can't give that guy any credit.
Well, I mean, look, on top of this, I know that last year when all of this tournament stuff was happening, they upped the matches from like two times a week to 4. If they do that, guys, I'm sorry, but we're not doing reactions 4 or 5 times a week.
I
Sorry.
have.
We're sticking to our schedule of Wednesday, Thursdays, some Fridays. Obviously, the pay-per-views that comes into play.
Yeah, sorry, y'all. I can't.
But
we need
you'll
to
see
breathe.
Wednesday, Thursday's reaction. That is it. So
Jake's figured this out months ago.
I
know
think
that
we're
last
all on
year.
the same page
Last
there.
year they went from 2 matches to 4, and we were like,
Molly, we'll hang out. We got you.
And everyone thought we were freaking crazy. They're like,
us
you're
and the
doing
Cinefanatics were doing it every
single
day.
match.
We were doing it every
And we're
single
like,
day.
and you could totally see us at the end of the season, just going like,
Yeah.
we're here again.
Yeah.
We're here with another match reaction. Shot of espresso.
All right, let's go ahead and wrap up with these collision matches, and we'll just kind of discuss them quickly before we head out for the night. Let's start with the first match of the night on Collision, and we'll talk more about these and make kind of predictions as this gets closer because it is over a month away. We start off with the Star Wars match, guys.
Woohoo!
All of the matches are officially set, and the first one out of the gate, just like Spectacular last year, is the Star Wars Championship. We have defending champion of the world, Andrew the 100 Dimolanta, going up against Lights Out Laura Kelly. Seeing Laura since February.
Wow.
The first time we are seeing her since February. And we've known about this one for a little bit, but this one's going to be a banger. What are we thinking about this one, guys? This is...
Let's go, Laura. Let's go, Laura.
It's hard to even think right now. Goodness.
I'm so excited to see this match.
Me
Like,
too.
I've played both of these people. These people are insanely good at trivia, Star Wars trivia. Like we might be getting something close to another 5150. I don't know.
I'm not prepared.
Like this could just go on forever.
Good thing Captain Morgan's sponsoring it because we'll be there with our cocktails, just sipping away.
It definitely it has the feel of a Damon Dimolanta, right? Like,
yeah.
And obviously some people have come up this year, right? The gold leaders and the Thomas Harpers, and Thomas is waiting to see who wins this match to face. But Laura, Andrew, and Alex, and Scrimshaw when he's available, have kind of been the mainstay heavy hitters of the Star Wars division over the last couple of years. Mm-hmm. And Dimolanta Kelly haven't faced each other since before Spectacular 2019, where the winner of that match went on to face Alex at Spectacular, and that was Laura winning. And they are two extremely different players since then. And they're at their best right now. Both of them are at their best. Andrew is clearly at his best, and we haven't seen Laura since February, and she looked terrifying. I'm sure Molly can be like, yeah, she was terrifying.
She didn't miss a single question. I was like, okay, cool. that's how it's gonna be. Okay,
Awesome.
And we haven't seen her in 5 months. What will be 5 months since when Spectacular comes around? So I'm
excited to see. This is going to be Laura's first 5-round match, right?
Correct.
I believe so.
No, she did Buzzers
no,
like
never mind.
Spectacular. She did Buzzers like Spectacular. Correct.
She faced
Never
Alex.
mind.
Oh
Well,
my
so
god,
it'll be her
that's
first.
right.
It'll be her first speed round this way, not Buzzers.
Yes.
Yes. That live match with Alex and Laura was so long ago, but so
I
great.
love that they came out in each other's podcasts.
Each
That was
other's
fun.
shirts. I know.
fun.
That was super cute.
Adorable.
I wish Star Wars was still like that.
You
Right.
can pit us against each other all you want, but you guys, all the Star Wars players like each other. Sorry.
They do. It's true. They all do like each other.
Until we get on the desk ready to go, like
Then
it's
they
like
want
game
to
time.
murder each other.
Yeah. Brian, you got any thoughts on this one before we move on?
This is gonna be a bloodbath. Literally. Like
Yeah.
this match scares me. These people are two very intense Star Wars competitors, and bloodbath.
And it will not be Buzzers, Tachyon. It will
You
not.
know,
It is
this is a
speed
digital match.
digital speed round. It is digital
Yeah.
speed round.
This is a
Um,
recorded. They already said
This is
it,
one
right?
of the two pre-recorded.
pre-recorded.
The next one so the two pre-recorded are the Star Wars Championship and then the singles number one contender between Kevin Smith and Marisol. And then the live in studio, not live, but this in studio ones are the IG and the teams championship.
Could you imagine if Kevin Smith was live in studio? The
That'd be
complete
amazing.
chaos that would happen.
But I also
Uh,
understand with that guy's schedule. So
Yeah,
I'm not-
exactly.
I'm
Yeah.
not saying this is going to happen, but if he wins, you can almost damn well put money on the fact that he would be at a live event.
Oh,
for that
you'd
belt
how would you
he's
not
he's
make that
he's
a live event?
it'll be New York. You put him in New York.
Oh yeah,
You gotta
couldn't
put him in New
not
York.
make that a live
Something.
event.
Easy.
You would schedule the live event around Kevin Smith's schedule.
100%.
Is what you would do in
100%.
that situation.
Yeah.
And I would do everything in my power to be there.
Oh
But
yeah.
like I said,
Ethan Irwin / Dan Murrell versus Kevin Smith. Woo!
Can you imagine?
All right, next one. We kind of talked about it, but just real quick. Amaru Moses going up against Saul, the Saul Show, in the IG number one contender match. And they're going to be facing either Chandru or Mike in the IG title match, whoever wins that match. This is going to be a fun one.
Yeah,
Saul even though Saul's not a rookie, he only had one match last year, so he can kind of be considered a rookie in a way. And then obviously Amaru was the second overall pick, and he's a rookie 2-0. This one's going to be fun. Very interesting matchup too.
This is exciting because it almost feels like fresh blood for the IG tournament because neither of them have played that many games. So
Yeah.
it makes it feel even more special and exciting to see them.
are you saying
Like,
Mike's old blood?
Yeah.
Do you get okay? All right, Mike.
Mike's great,
Well-
but I mean he's like been around for a while, you know.
Oh, I got it.
Well,
Are
Jill,
you
you've been
calling
saying
Mike
it.
old?
Jill, I know you've been saying it for a long time. New belt holders, new people in the fold.
Yes. I don't want the belt to be going in a ring around the rosy between the same freaking 3 people. Like, no. I'm
Mhm.
sorry. I love those 3 or 4 people that all these belts keep ring around the rosy with, but I want a different face in there. Like, I need new blood. So I'm very excited that this number one contender match is essentially two rookies
Yeah.
who now have never held a belt. So that's exciting. I'm very pumped up for this match. It's going to be a fun one. Saul in studio is going to be
Yeah, that's gonna be. I'm excited to see Saul
Wow.
too. That's gonna be
The
interesting.
answer you are looking for
It's
is
gonna be
loud.
interesting.
loud. Yeah, I got my earbuds ready.
He's not gonna be able to mute himself like if he screams off camera like last time. So that's
Jill,
all
you're
gonna
gonna
be
have to
happening.
bring him like one of those stress things where the eyes go.
I
Stress
do
balls.
have a stress ball or a fidget cube, or I do have anxiety dough. I can give him. It's scented. It's actually very lovely. But yeah, it's gonna be a good one.
Next one is the one that we were just talking about. It is another number one contenders match. We have Kevin Goodenough Smith going up against Lady Justice Marisol McKee. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like Marisol is going to wipe the floor with Kevin Smith.
Yeah, I think so too.
Kevin Smith, I love you, man. I love your movies,
Yeah.
but Lady Justice is
But
coming for that head.
on the flip side, we always say he's gonna get the floor wiped with him, and look what he does. Even when
But
the questions got more difficult, like
Kevin Smith has been great. He has been great. But the matches he's played so far, they haven't been the toughest of opponents. They haven't been, like we said, they haven't been legit, like hard-hitting Schmoedown competitors who are in this full-time, like just blood, sweat, and tears into the Schmoedown.
yeah.
And you're facing Marisol first at her best. Oh,
R.I.P.
goodness.
R.I.P.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
sorry, bro. Get your funeral ready.
Yeah, because
it's
Marisol is dropping the hammer on that one. Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna be a fun one though.
Brian.
Very
I'm
excited
excited to see how I'm excited to see how Kevin reacts to Marisol's like Lady Justice.
Her intensity.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how he's gonna react to that and how she's gonna play off.
Because
him
it's been Jericho and Zaflirtenflaus, right? That was the last time we saw Kevin Smith. And Stacey. That's right, and Stacey. But again, not a super intensity like Marisol.
No. Yeah, I think I've said this before, but I'm looking forward to Marisol causing Kevin Smith to be like, have I ever seen a movie?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
It'll be really interesting to see the difficulty level of the questions, because at this point they can't hold back with Kevin Smith anymore. Not that they have been, but I mean, let's be honest. There's been a number of softball questions in his matches so far. This one's got to be tough.
If it's anything like her match with Janine, he's gonna have to do some.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
He's gonna have to be ready. He's gonna have to be ready. So.
Yeah,
but that's exciting to know that he is good enough to like get real deal hard questions. And,
I'm sorry, I have to bring this one up because the shade of that one is just
true. John, you are true, and also John, our newest $20 patron, a Starburst member.
Thanks,
Hi, John.
Aww.
Thank you.
Hello. Get my fan out for the shade.
I know the shade.
You're going to be watching the next female belt holder.
Snake Jazz said it. I got to bring it up because you're saying it too.
What?
I just wanted to highlight the comment. Go ahead.
The first female belt holder since Clark Wolf in the singles category. So just sit back and enjoy, because
it's been a long time coming.
Yeah.
You need to root against that. So just
correction, Clark was never singles champion.
Has there ever been a female
Marisol will be the first ever female champion, singles champion. Clark lost all her title matches.
Ugh.
Wow.
She won teams. She never won singles.
Oh.
Got it.
Wow.
So
she's just one
Marisol,
of those if she think, like you assume.
Yeah, I know, 100%. 100%. But she had a rough go at it with title matches. She was always so close.
Then you're going to look at your first female singles.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy.
It's been that long. And we've never had one. Jeez. All right, well, the match to conclude the night, which is an in-studio match, which will be awesome because it's a perfect team to have an entrance, ladies and gentlemen.
Yay, we missed that. Yay.
Shazam versus Corruption is happening in studio.
Real life entrance.
Shazam puts their belts on the line up against former teams champs, and they are going to be defending to stay the champions up against Corruption. We get William Bibiani, we get Brendan Meyer, we get Mike Kalinowski, and we get Chance Ellison. And again, this one is going to be a banger.
Yeah.
Because it's an in-studio match.
I'm more excited for the entrance we're going to get, to be completely honest.
A couple people have been saying that in the chat, yeah.
Multiple real in-person entrants.
Yeah.
And being able to see these people interact with each other in person is going to be really fun, too.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Brian?
Yeah, it's going to be a semi-corruption invitational for me.
A
Mm.
corruption
On that one.
invitational.
Of
Just a
course,
slight invitation.
Yeah. Can I
no,
get the
Shazam is
blueprints?
protecting those belts, baby. Shazam is protecting those belts.
We'll see.
Absolutely.
Sorry.
We got another super chat here from Mr. Tim Sim.
Thank
The last
you.
two collision matches will certainly determine a significant part of Koi's case for winning Manager of the Year. Ooh,
I mean, he's not
Fair.
wrong because
fair.
how many times has he had a belt match so far this year?
Well, and Dimolanta has defended once. If he defends again against Kelly, that's twice in a row. And that'll be three straight title matches for Andrew. And then he'll have at least two more, possibly between that. A guaranteed two more if he beats Laura.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's fair. And then Shazam winning the belts. It's very fair.
Expect the standings to just.
The tournaments are going to flip everything on its head.
Yeah,
Tournaments are going to flip everything on its head.
Yeah, that. Don't get too attached to anyone in certain positions because
It's gonna be like last season.
yeah, this
Corruption
thing's
was in
it's
dead last, and then they won. So.
And look who's in last this year. It's Swag.
Are they in
No,
last
Stars are
right
in
now?
last.
No, the Stars.
Oh,
are in
that's right.
last
The Stars.
now.
They lost some points. Correct.
I was like, no way is Swag last place
Yeah.
right now.
My bad.
second to
They've been flip flopping for last place for a little bit. The two of them.
Oh, that's crazy.
But yeah, you are right. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be and we have a free agency period coming up. We'll see what happens with that. With tournament season around the corner, that could be a big impact as well. But yeah, like we've been talking about for a couple weeks now, when all the tournaments were announced, we will be doing shows to make predictions on who's going to be in the tournament. I don't know about the 32 singles tournament, but definitely the eight team tournaments or the eight participant tournaments. We'll be doing predictions on those. IG and Star Wars, probably teams as well. Maybe we'll attempt singles, but that's rough. That's a rough go at it.
If we do, we'll have to do that like a quick speed round, like pick
Yeah,
four, go!
for sure.
We can
But,
do it.
Quick. Here we go. Ryko's got a question for us. Do you think championship matches are weighted too heavily? No, honestly, I think they're weighted fine. I think they're weighted
because
fine,
it's
personally.
giving other teams that opportunity and rewarding those players for said thing. Like if someone makes a huge run, that changes the team's positions.
Yep.
And yes,
agreed.
it's going off of one person, but guess what? The manager probably drafted and or picked that person hoping that exact thing would happen. So, I mean,
I like it. 7 points is a good number.
I mean, the matches are way harder too. Like the players should get more points if the match is way harder.
Absolutely. And it's a 5-rounder.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's got to be a little bit extra something.
Yeah.
Reward for busting your butt to get to where that match is.
Agreed.
So, I mean, yeah. And not to mention, you can still lose points, gain extra points. So, like, it's not completely out of the realm. Like, if one team's TKOing people, like, those points are adding up. And
Well, look at Finstock.
Yeah, look at that.
yeah, exactly. So, I mean,
I will say, at being on the dungeon, like we have like such a lead in points. I think it's fair to say that like someone in the chat said it, like the Mercs will get 20 points in Collision if they win all three. That's like a potential upset for them to like jump 20 points up, and I think that makes it more exciting.
Right there. Yeah. If they defend, they'll overtake dungeon. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, I like it because it doesn't just make the last place team just be like, all right, we're done for the year. Like,
right, exactly.
I mean, I know this is hard to imagine, but like the Stars are not done.
No.
Like they could make
it's June.
Huge. Yeah. I mean, these tournaments, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but they could easily walk out of first place depending on how tournaments go.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
and like I know that I'm singling him out particularly, but look, they have Alex Damon in the Star Wars tournament.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, it is a maybe. Yes, it is a maybe, but you have the former champion entering a tournament. That's MLA's like, I'm just going to knock him out the first round. You know, but,
She's like,
Give them to me.
bring it.
To me.
but like that's what we're talking about. Like one player, we saw what happened with corruption last year. To add to what Brian's saying, Chance had a giant chunk of their points in both IG and singles. So, and that's how it flipped ahead for them.
It's giving the teams the opportunity. Doesn't mean they're going to get it. Like, I mean, by winning everything, but that opportunity is still there. It's not, because let's be honest, we don't want to watch a season where half the teams are already out for the year, and have no chance at the top 4 spots. So make it so that those teams, and yes, it does come down to a manager drafting well, but I mean, you want your team to still have that motivation. Like, you don't want to play for a team that, like, all right, we can still turn this around versus, all right, well, we're screwed, so just do your best type thing.
Agreed.
I mean,
I have to agree.
I should
What are we
have
even doing
titled.
here?
I should have titled the episode that if we don't get Damon versus Damon, what are we even doing?
What are we doing?
There you go.
I'll do
We're
my
just gonna
best,
stop.
y'all.
We're just gonna stop everything.
All right, everybody. That is going to wrap up tonight's show. We covered a lot. We will definitely be talking about Collision again. Also, we will definitely be making predictions for tournaments, IG teams, Star Wars. If we attempt singles, possibly. I know someone threw in the chat that it's no different from what we did from Free for All. Very true. So we will definitely discuss it behind the scenes and do what we can. But we will definitely be doing the 8 participant tournaments. And yeah, I think that's everything. Thank you to everyone who donated, Super Chats and Streamlabs.
Yeah, here's our predictions for the matches this week. Who knows?
Oh, yeah, we don't know yet. Yeah, that's
We don't know what's happening.
We don't know yet. But we'll make our predictions on our reactions. And so you'll see those. We'll be back on Wednesday and Thursday, of course. And I don't think we have any other plugs outside of that, but we'll go around the table real quick.
Well, tomorrow.
And do some plugs on our own. Well, so if you're interested, everybody, and why don't we reveal it right now? What
are we watching? I don't even know.
Let's reveal it right now. So if you're interested in joining us, for $2 a month, you can watch a movie with us on our Patreon. We have a bunch of cool movies that are already up there for our Patreon stuff. But as far as what we're watching this month, let's see. It was between Clue and Rocketeer. And the official winner of the June watch-along poll with a vote of, oh, man, it's tied at 13.
No way!
Someone go vote for Clue.
Someone go pick Clue.
Someone needs to go vote. Someone needs to sign up and vote. It is tied at 13.
Someone go vote for Clue because Jake hasn't seen Clue. Someone go vote for Clue.
So here's the funny thing. Someone changed their vote because the voting total hasn't changed. It's been stuck at 26.
Bless you, whoever.
And I will say this:
vote.
for you $2 and up patrons, there's over 30 of you. That means there's at least 5 of you who have not voted. Get your asses in there and vote.
Go vote for Clue. Go vote for Clue.
So
the Rocketeer is great, but Jake hasn't seen Clue.
Has John voted?
John, did you go vote? You need to go vote, John.
John, go
vote. You need to go vote, John. Go check the posts.
John can end this right here, right now.
John, go vote for Clue. Go, John, go.
Anyway, outside of our watch-along stuff, we have a lot of cool stuff. Outside of that, we do Q&As. Q&A. We do more reactions. We do a hangout, and there's more stuff coming in July. There is more stuff coming in July that we're very, very excited about, and we will be revealing here very shortly. Let me refresh and see what happened. If it is and we have a winner, 14-13. The Clue has won. So we will be watching Clue.
Sorry, Chuck.
We will be watching Clue tomorrow.
I will say because that vote was so close, we should do Rocketeer next month.
If we do Rocketeer, one PJ Campbell will definitely be with us.
Yeah, and he's not in town yet. Okay, how about that? PJ's not in town yet. He's still on vacation.
And to answer your question, Movie Man, it's on Prime Video. So we will be doing a watch party on Prime Video tomorrow, 6 o'clock Pacific. If you want to join us for $2, guys, You can hang out with us tomorrow, watch a movie as we chit chat, and I've never seen it, so there you go. I've never seen it.
Yes,
Excited.
relish in the fact that us three, me included, have seen a movie before him.
We're
Yeah.
gonna see Clue.
Yeah.
We're gonna watch Clue.
It's gonna be fun. It's definitely gonna be fun. So enjoy that. Join us tomorrow. But again, Q&As, hangouts, more editions coming as well. Stuff for happy hour. It's all happening. But let's go around the table real quickly and just do our own little plugs. Jill, I will start with you. Where can everybody find you online?
Yeah, Jilly Marie, 2 Y's, 2 E's. You can find me on Twittergram, Twitter and Salad. You can find me on Twitter,
Right.
Instagram, and sometimes you might see me in a post interview here and there. Apparently,
Brian?
Maybe.
post interviews.
When could she pop up next? You can find me. Yeah, but she will never know until it happens.
Yeah, until they call me AF.
Yeah. Be of all seen on.
Whoa. Hold, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Are there different endings to this movie?
You gotta find out.
You've seen Bibiani's different versions of.
Well, I know that obviously the game is different, and I know like what Clue is, but the movie
You
has
gotta-
legit
you
different endings.
Gotta
that can
watch
happen?
We'll
the
see.
movie.
We'll
I
see
hate
tomorrow.
I hate this.
I gotta remember to buy some popcorn.
I know, me too.
I have
I'm
popcorn.
so excited.
I know everybody who's gonna react to me. I know the board game and stuff does, but I didn't know the movie had like different endings.
It's
Come
Jake.
on.
Just stop.
I
never
hate
know.
this.
Oh, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be
What
so
a
good.
nerd hasn't seen a movie.
Go ahead, Brian. Finish your plug.
The one time he hasn't seen a movie. The one
Yep.
time.
Be of Alcino, Twitter and Instagram, and on Apocalypse Movies with this guy who has not seen Clue.
Till tomorrow.
Yeah. What are we doing on Tuesday?
If you're interested in more watch-alongs, we're doing a watch-along of Atlantis: The Lost Empire on Tuesday.
see, he's fine because that's one of his movies. So
I love it.
he'll be fine without getting the Rocketeer. So, yeah.
Molly?
I made a bridge.
At Molly Damon on Twitter, Molly Mander on Instagram. Star Wars Explain videos all the time. Star Wars live streams. We do Lego live streams on Wednesdays. Talk about Bad Batch on Fridays.
Have you
Our
decided
second
what
channel-
you're making?
I think we're gonna do the probe droid maybe next.
Ooh.
We're gonna do a couple of small sets before we get back into a really big one because that might be like the rest of the year.
I feel like I should make a PNG file and just put it over Molly's face while she's talking because it's just like boom, 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 boom.
It's a lot.
And Malix once a week. Loki.
Yeah, we have a second YouTube channel just called Malix, and that's where Explain It to Me lives, and that's where we have people on to explain non-Star Wars things like Loki. These two, yeah, they've been on it several times.
Last week.
Talk about Loki,
Right?
all the Marvel
It
shows.
might just be the best episode of Explain It to Me ever. You never know. You have to go watch to find out.
Exactly. Yeah. So there's probably more than that, but that's enough. That's enough
And Twitch.
from me. And Twitch, maybe.
When Twitch
sometime.
happens, you can start plugging Twitch
The
again.
grand return of Molly Damon on Twitch.
You can find me at Qui-Gon Jake on all the socials. 2 N's because someone else took it before I did. Apocalypse
do it.
movies multiple times a week. A little show called The Whiskey Jedi. Schmoedown POV's Twitter right above Jill. Streamlabs donation link if you're interested in that. And of course, guys, the big one, the Patreon. I'm telling you, it's a blast. For $1 a month, you can join our Discord. The View crew kills it every single day with stuff. It's a lot of fun. All of our links and all that stuff is in the description, so you guys can check those out. And to everyone who watches each week, thank you guys so much. We had over 80 people today joining us as we had our conversation about tournaments and collision and stuff. Super, super fun. So thank you to everyone who hangs out with us each and every week. We appreciate it. We're here every Sunday, plus Wednesdays and Thursdays. And so
Except for
we'll
next
catch you
Sunday.
guys. And except for that's a good point to add.
Oh, very good point.
Should we reveal?
We
to
might
our-
as well. I feel like we should, or else people won't watch
So
it.
obviously next Sunday is 4th of July. And this always happens with our wrap up. We continue on. But Sunday is 4th of July. We'll be taking next Sunday off, but we're going to shift the show to Monday. And that is because we were able to lock down a live interview with one Christian Harloff. Christian Harloff will be with us on Monday, talking
the
a
myth,
whole
the
lot of
legend.
Schmoedown. So get your questions ready. Hammer them in. Get those donations ready for questions, super chats, Streamlabs. It's going to be a great time. We will have him on with us at 4 o'clock on Monday.
We should
4
all
o'clock
order
on Monday.
In-N-Out at the same time and have it delivered to us while we're doing the interview. And
It's not a bad
just eat
idea.
In-N-Out.
It's not a bad idea.
I can't get In-N-Out, but it would be super funny.
Someone ship Molly in and out.
Someone ship Molly In-N-Out.
Don't say that. People
No.
will literally do that. They're going to open up their.
I mean, we can do
P.O.
Taco
box.
Bell. We can do Taco.
I mean,
No, it's
Mara,
gotta be In-N-Out. It's gotta be.
Mara
In-N-Out.
made us cookies and brown and like
More?
no, not more, but like
Oh,
she
mistake.
figured it. She figured out the perfect way to send them in the mail, which is like getting a suction. What is it called? Like not freeze dried.
The vacuum.
Vacuum
seal.
pack.
vacuum
yeah.
sealed. Vacuum sealed. Yeah.
If someone can vacuum seal, even then, I don't know. If someone can vacuum seal,
the animal fries to her. That's all you need.
Some animal style
Ooh.
French fries.
Oh.
Ew, that sounds
Oh.
so gross. The fries would be all smushed.
This is
Ew.
making me sick.
That would just be a mess. Ew.
Anyway,
This is the
all right.
nonsense that happens
that's-
once we click
anyway.
the end button.
That's Monday at 4. 4
Monday at
p.m.
4.
on Monday. 4
July
p.m.
5th.
Pacific
7
Standard
7 p.m.
Time.
Central, or not Central.
Eastern.
Don't listen to Brian.
Eastern.
Do not listen to Brian. He said Central.
7
It's not
p.m.
that time.
Eastern.
We will be back here next Monday, but of course Wednesday, Thursday this week. So for everyone here at POV, thank you guys so much. We love you guys. Have a great week, and we'll catch you guys later.